Hello, will you please join us in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag
of the United States
of America
and
and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under
under
God,
God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good evening. Welcome to the November 10th meeting of the Board of Trustees of the School Town of Speedway. We will be operating tonight on a 14-item agenda. We have 3 of the board members present in person, and Mr. Tom Smith is present with us remotely via Zoom. The first item on our agenda is to approve the minutes of our last meeting of October 13th, 2020.
I move that we approve the minutes of the regular meeting held on October 13th, 2020.
Wonderful. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thank you so much. Any discussion? All in favor of approving last meeting's minutes indicate by raising your hand. And that passes 4-0. The second item is to set the date and time for the annual retreat or work session.
Thank you, Mr. President. The recommendation is to advertise a work session in the board meeting room right here at 5 p.m. on Tuesday, December 8th, 2020. No business will be transacted at the work session, and the discussion will be discussing long-range planning. Tentative schedule for the retreat is enclosed in your packets. Again, the recommendation is to approve this.
I move we approve the recommendation to set the date and time for the annual retreat work session to be December 8th, 2020 at 5 p.m. in this location.
Wonderful. Do I have a second?
A second.
Thanks so much. All in favor of setting the date and time for the annual retreat to be in whatever date is in December 8th, indicate by raising your hand. That passes 4-0. The third item is to approve the schedule of the 2021 school board meetings.
The recommendation is to approve the 2021 schedule of the school board meeting as presented. The schedule mirrors current and past practice.
I move that we approve the schedule for the 2021 school board meetings.
Second? Tom, you want to?
I'll second.
Awesome. Any discussion on this? I think the only discussion that I would have is that should something need to change with the COVID situation, with, whatever, then these are our present years move forward, and those changes would just be made, and so long as they're advertised, this is kind of, we're approving this sort of going forward. Yeah, is that good? Okay. All in favor of approving next year's meeting schedule indicate by raising your hand. And that passes 4-0. Number 4 is to renew the health insurance plan. Dr. Tremblay, is that you?
Yes. It is included, a copy of the summary is enclosed in your packet that we sent home. Again, we started this about 3 months ago with United Healthcare was our past insurer, and we used John Boskin with LHD, and we worked for 3 months with United Healthcare. We got some quotes from other people. The recommendation is to continue our agreement with United Healthcare. I'd just like to say a few things. We started at a high number in the high 20s for renewal percentage, which is pretty typical. We got it down to 7.1, and eventually we got it down to 5.0 increase, which is exceptional compared to everybody around us for right now. We talked to the teachers, we talked to our leadership, and we're very pleased where we're at right now. So the recommendation again is to renew the health insurance coverage with United Healthcare.
I'll make a motion that we renew the health insurance coverage for 2021 with United Healthcare for the school town of Speedway.
Also, second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Luke. Any discussion on this? Thanks so much for a job well done. I know that our teachers are certainly thrilled that, and no one's ever thrilled with an increase, but thrilled that we were able to contain the increase so well.
And I left out for 3 years, our increase was 1.96 on an average for 3 years. And that's something to note that a lot of placement up and down, but a 3-year average, we're doing okay.
Then we'll call the vote. All in favor of renewing our health insurance plan with United Healthcare as recommended, indicate by raising your hand. All opposed? 4-0. The fifth item is to approve the resolution for professional compensation merit pay.
Yeah, this action allows our Speedway teachers to receive the local, and again, that's local, not state, local merit pay that is outlined in the master contract. The master contract states that a teacher must be highly effective or effective, and the school letter grade must be an A or an increase the letter grade. This resolution will be a one-time exception as we try to navigate through this interesting year of 2020 without state tests. So we're going back to the last time the resolution stated 17-18. This will be a resolution that 18-19 corporation grade, which was an A, for all teachers to receive the merit pay. So the recommendation is to adopt this resolution for local merit pay.
I move we approve the resolution for professional compensation merit pay.
Wonderful.
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion on this? Okay, all in favor of approving the resolution for professional compensation merit pay, indicate by raising your hand. And that passes 4-0.
I will need the signature from the president.
Okay, the sixth item is to approve the 1920 evaluation of the superintendent. We each year, the board, just as all of our staff is evaluated, the board evaluates the superintendent, and we have completed that evaluation. I have forwarded it to all of you. It takes into account it takes into account Dr. Trubley's goals. It takes into account our overall letter grade. And so that evaluation has been completed. You've had a chance to look at it, and it is now time for us to approve it so it can be officially part of the record. So what's the board's pleasure on approving the 1920 evaluation for the superintendent?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the evaluation of the superintendent for the 1920 academic year.
Second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Tom. Any discussion on this? Okay. All in favor of approving the 1920 evaluation of the superintendent, indicate by raising your hand. And that passes 4-0. Seventh item is sort of a corollary, and it is to reaffirm the statement of board ethics.
Thank you, Mr. President. I'm just going to read some of the headings through this as we did this the last year and every year before this. But it states that the school board member code of ethics, a school board member should honor the high responsibility that membership demands. A school board member should demonstrate respectful relationships with the other members of the board. A school board member should maintain desirable relations with the superintendent of schools and other employees. And finally, a school member should maintain a commitment to the community. And those are the headings of the school board member code of ethics. And my recommendation is to publicly reaffirm by signature of the board statements of ethics.
What's the board's pleasure on this?
I move that we reaffirm the statement of board ethics.
And do I have a second on that?
I'll second that.
Okay, thank you. All in favor, any discussion on this? So again, to the public, know that we have a specific code and that we take it very seriously each year, that we remind ourselves exactly what that entails and formally go through this process to publicly reaffirm to you our commitment to those ethics. All in favor of reaffirming our statement of board ethics indicate by raising your hand. And that passes 4-0. The 8th item is to approve participation in the CIESC Indiana Online Academy.
Thank you, Mr. President. The recommendation is to approve the renewal of this annual agreement with the CIESC Indiana Online Academy. The Online Academy provides our students with the opportunities for both enrichment and credit recovery and has a history of academic success with our students. As charter members of the cooperative, the tuition for each class is reduced.
What's the board's pleasure on this?
I'd like to make a motion that we renew our agreement with the CIESC Indiana Online Academy for yet another year.
And do I have a second?
I'll second.
Thanks, Tom. Any discussion on this one? Am I right, Dr. Trubley, that in the approval, as part of the process this year, it's like a cap on our student was removed?
That is an open cap, that's correct, on the CIESC with the online. We use that for summer school enrichment. We pick up credits. They've done a great job. I'm on the executive board for the CIESC. That's been around for many, many, many years. They're doing a great job there. And also, if anybody's ever wants to pick up an extra job to be a driver's ed instructor, we're looking for more driver's ed instructors. So if that interests you, please reach out to me and I'll get you the right number. But a lot of our students in Speedway in the community uses CIESC for driver's ed. So very beneficial.
Wonderful. Then we'll call the vote. All in favor of approving our continued participation in the CIESC Indiana Online Academy indicate by raising your hand. And that passes 4-0. The 9th item on our agenda is to approve the agreement for alternate transportation solutions.
Thank you. The corporation at times needs special transportation for different needs for students. The student may be homeless, or a court order would reappoint the residency for a short time outside the district. This is an agreement that will allow us to contact ALC schools and arrange pickup and drop off. And as I stated in my notes, the best part of this is pay as you go. We do have a contract with Miller Transportation, but if all their routes are full, we can tap in and we can use this group as we go. There could be a chance that we'll never use it, but I'd like to have this agreement as they'd like one signed with us that you're aware of that also. The recommendation is to approve the agreement with ALC schools for alternate transportation.
What's the board's pleasure on this?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve the agreement for alternate transportation solutions.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Thank you so much, Bill. Any discussion on this? Sounds like a great thing to have ready. All in favor of approving the agreement for alternate transportation solutions with ALC Schools LLC indicate by raising your hand. Okay, then that passes 4-0. The 10th item is to approve area career and technical education operating agreement.
I'm also on the executive board of the Area 31 through Wayne Township. We, when I first got here in 2014, we had about 7-10 kids, and it went up a little bit. We have over 30 kids now going over to Area 31, and that's just tremendous. Anywhere from cosmetology to service technology. The recommendation is to approve this operating agreement that will continue for many years, hopefully, with Career and Technical Education District number 31, Area 31. And like President Gay also said, that this is going to allow us to have more seats for this group as we continue on. But both groups allow Speedway schools to continue a great partnership and give kids opportunities. And that's what we're all about.
Sorry about that. That's what, this is the one that had the cap removed.
Both are true.
Great. Any motion on this?
I'll make a motion that we approve the new operating agreement for CTE District 31, also known as Area 31.
Awesome. Second?
I'll second it.
Thank you, Luke. Any discussion on this? All in favor of approving the area career and technical education operating agreement, indicate by raising your hand. And that passes 4-0. The 11th item is to acknowledge the grants, and we have received this last month, $126,365.78 in grants. And so we are thankful and appreciative of that. The 12th item is the personnel report. Mr. Disney?
The personnel report for November has 5 items on it. 3 of the items are for employment. Stacy McGuire, who we're recommending to be a custodian at Allison Elementary School. Jackson Harris, who will be an assistant swim coach, and that's a half stipend. Christina Menendez will probably be taking a disability leave during the season, and he will take over the other half of that. And Marge Graham, who will be taking over as our band choir director. There are 2 resignations. One of those is Jamil Johnson, and Jamil is resigned as custodian at Allison Elementary School. And Laura Brim, who is resigning as a teacher of language arts at junior high school. My recommendation is we approve the personnel report as presented.
Board's pleasure on this.
I'll make a motion that we accept and approve the personnel report as presented.
Is second?
I'll second.
Thank you, Tom. Any discussion on this? Okay. All in favor of approving the personnel report as presented, indicate by raising your hand. And that passes 4-0. The last item is to recognize visitors, of which we have none. And any other business? Do we have any other business? Okay. With no other business, we will retire to sign claims. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Well,